Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.
Welcome to another Thursday night EBN live stream. How's it going, guys? Sorry for the late start. I was tied up with work when coach isn't here. You know, I just start it when I can. And unfortunately, I was right in the middle of something work related. So, but here we are. Matt, X-Wing, Nikki, how you guys
What's
doing?
up? Hey, how are you all today?
So, as Coach always says, there's 4 ways you guys can support us here through memberships, our Patreon page, which I just uploaded the Addy-Wan Empire Strikes Back fan edit, which is a special fan edit special edition on our Patreon page that we watched on Discord with members this last Sunday. We are doing members only streams Sunday afternoons. So I'm hoping all of you will take part in that. And then, of course, our merch store. And then, of course, super chats, which help pretty much direct the conversation that we're having here. But real quick, I did make something today that I'm going to get to here in just a minute. But real quick, first, I want to hit these 2 super chats that came in. Scott Westbrook with $5. Thank you for doing all you do and your appearance on Loki's show, Coach. I sent you a DM on Discord. Nothing urgent. EBN is such a great community. He is not here, but I'm sure he's probably watching, and I'm sure he'll see it. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, Coach was on Loki's show this last week. Was a falling out between them a long time ago. They were not on speaking terms, and so they ended up squashing it. And he actually went on the show, and it was fun.
I'm real happy to hear that, man.
Yeah, Rogue Sarge for $19.99. Hello, everyone at EBN. Hail, Rogue Sarge. Thank you for your continued support, brother. So, real quick, to anybody that did not see, I had a pinned comment in the chat when I started the stream. My dog needed an emergency surgery this week, and we reached our goal. We reached our goal to cover the expenses of that. So I actually put something together. I know a lot of people here that are on Mr. H's streams that I do on Tuesdays and Thursdays helped out a ton today. And then, of course, a lot of people here in the EBN community helped out. And so to show my appreciation, I put this together.
I didn't know you had a rat.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I do.
What is
She's
that
a little
thing?
she's a little long-haired teacup chihuahua. I had 2. The other one was an apple-head, short-haired teacup chihuahua. But we had to put him down, and he's buried in the backyard. So I just have her. But they actually belong to my brother's wife. But they had like 6 dogs, and all the other dogs were like huge dogs.
Is she Mexican?
Say what?
Is she Mexican?
She's not Mexican. She's Latino.
It's a chihuahua.
Yeah, Mexicans love chihuahuas.
Yeah. So, well.
Oh, I thought you meant the dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was just I went through a bad breakup at the time, and I was just like chilling here by myself at the house, and so she was like, hey, do you mind watching the dogs? You know, and then, you know, after like a month, they're like, well, do you mind watching them till this date? And then it was, well, do you mind watching them till Thanksgiving? Do you mind watching them till Christmas? And then they're like, you just want to keep them. And of course, at that point, I was attached to them. So that's actually how I came up. I would never buy. If I was going to buy a dog, like I'd get like a freaking I don't know about down south, but I'd get something like a husky or a German Shepherd, or like a big dog. But they're good dogs, and she's sweet. So
That's sweet. I picture you with what are those dogs that probably like a German Shepherd, but very misbehaved?
like a pit bull.
No, I don't picture you with a pit bull. That's the answer you wish I said.
Yeah, a golden retriever.
No, German Shepherd.
Oh, a German Shepherd. Oh, yeah. I like German Shepherds. Like if I was gonna buy one, it'd probably be like a husky or a German Shepherd. But
the problem with huskies, dude, I know people love them because they're so pretty, but they are tedious dogs.
And they
have
shed
energy,
like
but they have
crazy.
energy to the day they die. They scream at you.
Sheds so much.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I sweep the house like constant. It's a constant battle.
Yeah. After she's dead and gone, no more dogs for me. This is it. So
that's what they all say.
Yeah. But I don't have anything on tonight's agenda. Did you have anything,
Great
Matt?
shit, guys. Let's get out of here.
I always have some things, Nick. You want me to bring some stuff up?
Yeah, if you want. Also, real quick, John Kakaza, who did our San Diego Comic-Con coverage this past Saturday night, he sent some of those 4D puzzles, Din Djarin's Naboo Starfighter, and Ahsoka poster. I am going to be giving those away, but I've decided that I'm going to do it on the member stream that we do on Sundays. So he sent me a whole stack. So if you guys are interested in those, I'm going to be giving those away each week for the next couple weeks on our Sunday members stream. So thank you for that, John. I did get the package.
Awesome. Yeah, those puzzles look so cool.
Cool. Yeah, and the puzzles that he sent, they were for the TIE fighters. So they're the miniature, just standard regular TIE fighters.
I don't have patience for puzzles. I'd be throwing that thing against the wall on like the first hour.
Well, Sundowners Club actually sent me the Death Star trench run, and I built it the other night and posted a picture on Twitter. I'm sure you saw it.
You loved it, didn't you? It looked so good.
Yeah. It looks great, and it was a fun build.
How big is it?
It's not that big. It's kind of small. I'd probably say maybe I don't know, 10 inches long.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, about 10 inches.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Yeah, about 10 inches long, about maybe 8 inches wide.
Next week, that's when you're supposed to play your clip.
Moving on.
Speaking on to less gayer things.
Well, kind of.
So
here's an article here's a weird chain of events on the Lando series. So I don't know, anyone remember Lando series? Donald Glover announced some time ago. It turns out that the person who I think who's directing the Haunted Mansion movie, was also the writer of record for Lando. And so, of course, as he's been out and about, well, before he couldn't be out and about talking about Haunted Mansion, they asked him, what's going on with Lando? And he said, well, I mean, I turned something in and I never heard from them again. So I guess I'm still on it. I don't know. And he said, they never call me back. So everyone's just been busy. And so one thing leads to another. And this just came out a little bit earlier today, where apparently Jeff Snyder, who breaks a lot of things on that podcast, he claims that Simeon has just been playing coy. I guess he didn't want to lose face while he's been out and about on the other, and that he's been off the project for a while, and that the Glovers themselves are actually attached now to write Lando.
Oh boy.
And we'd heard that Glover wanted to expand his horizons right into writing and other things. And
I feel like he's got an expansive horizon. Like, does he need to expand more? And what do you think happened? Do you think what he turned in was bad, or do you think what he turned in they weren't willing to make?
So there was a related second story that came out. So he said one thing in one interview, and then he said something else in a subsequent interview, and the subsequent interview was something like he wondered if he was too black and too queer for them to want to make the story he turned in. Was basically the commentary he made.
It probably
Donald
wasn't
Glover
clear
gay?
enough.
It was a weird comment, right? He's like, I wish they would have just told me if that was the case, as opposed to just sort of leaving me in limbo.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's what Disney wants.
Yeah, and so that makes me think that for whatever reason they had discharged him, and he was just talking around it, or else Jeff Snyder doesn't know what he's talking about here, and it's just the usual. The show is in limbo, and everyone thinks they know what's going on, but most recent information is the Glovers are doing it. Of course, no one's doing it now because nobody's doing anything now. There's no information about when it might come out or any of the rest of it. Just that Justin Simeon is apparently no longer attached to the project.
My theory on this is that they just don't have the money for it, so they're going for the ones that probably would get more traction, like The Acolyte, the next Andor season. And right when Bob Iger said, right, we got to slow down the Star Wars content, I feel like Lando would be the first one in line to kind of get the axe for a while until things kind of settle down. I don't think there's any nefarious reason like they wanted to say, because, it's always a race car, but I just think they don't have the resources for it.
Yeah, but wasn't this thing announced like 3 years ago?
Yeah, along with the Republic Rangers.
Yeah, they laid out that whole roadmap of all these different shows we were getting, which I think we got 2 of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I always liked Donald Glover as an actor. God, I just hated that Solo movie, and I honestly have no interest in a Lando show.
I didn't like him as Lando. I like Donald Glover. I like most of the things he does. I just didn't like his Lando because it felt more like he was cosplaying Lando instead of making it his own. Also, someone's echoing. I don't know who it is, but
there was a couple moments in Solo when I was watching his performance, and when I say a couple, I mean like 1 or 2, where I was like, okay, that's Lando. But the rest of the time, I kind of pretty much felt the same way Nikki.
He was like Lando in drag. That's how he was.
Yeah,
acting.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
That's how someone who was drag queening as Lando would act. Very exaggerated on purpose.
Yeah, I get that for sure. I think he did a fine enough job for the most part, but like the problem with that movie was everything else that was going on. I don't think Donald Glover was the problem with that. Just like Alden Ehrenreich wasn't the issue with Han Solo. It was everything around it that was just so god-awfully bad.
Agree.
I think it just made it worse.
We don't need a Lando show right now.
No.
And that's good because I don't think we're getting one. So I think
Yay!
we're all aligned on.
What about the droid show? Did they announce that too? What's happening with that thing? Is there any update on that?
Gosh, that was announced at the same time, and we even thought we saw Anthony Daniels with all the dots, right? Like he was doing the motion capture.
It's animated, isn't it? Yeah, it's supposed to be like a CG show.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on that. No updates, no nothing. So it's just another one that's it's probably not going to happen.
I don't feel like a good Star Wars fan anymore, or maybe I'm one of the better Star Wars fans because it just feels like kind of who cares at this point until something changes. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. When was the last time you made a video, X-Wing?
I think it was about Legend of Zelda, and it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I'll be talking about Ahsoka when it comes out for sure, obviously. But I mean, at least before like Mando season 3 or Mando season 2, I mean, there was stuff to talk about. There were things that I was excited about. Now it's more concern than anything else. Not concern that the show's not going to be good. It's concern about what are they going to do to a character that I love dearly, right? I'm worried about Thrawn. That's the biggest thing about Ahsoka. But at the same rate, it's like kind of who cares? It's a terrible thing to say, but
I'm in the same boat. I think a lot of Star Wars fans are. I mean, we're still, of course, here talking about it. We'll be talking about it every week. Some sort of something that's in the news, something that's coming up, something that's not happening. KK getting fired again. Whatever. So I mean, we're hanging in there. I mean, we got to give ourselves credit for that, right? I mean, so many other people completely jump ship to where they won't even talk about it. Like Culture Casino, when we were talking about Star Wars Day and on Mr. H Reviews stream, he was like, "Culture, any thoughts?" He was like, "Star Wars is dead," and that was it. I mean, he has nothing left to say. Tom from Midnight's Edge, same way. So many other people, same way, that they literally don't even care enough to even speak about it. Yeah. So at least we haven't completely gotten there to that point yet, but good God, I don't know how much.
We're the customers. We're supposed to kind of complain about the product they're trying to sell us.
Yeah.
If we're not happy with something, we're going to give our feedback. We're not going to.
And as customers, we want the best. We want the best product, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'd love a great product. I would at this point, man, I would open up like whatever you want. You want $100 to give me like a good project? I will give you $100. Just make me something good, please, for the love of God.
You're gonna pay us to be watching this shit.
Speaking of wanting a great product, we never got to cover this when it was making the rounds. So I figured I'd shine it up here. I figured I'd shine it up here now. It's our friend John Boyega. He must need his house or something, right? He said, "No, I'm never coming back, unless I need a house or something."
You ain't going to Disney Plus me.
Yeah, you're not going to Disney Plus.
How much though?
Yeah.
Now he said,
"Oh,
I'll come back. I might think about it." But this was the whole clip about. They asked him to rate the 3 Star Wars movies he was in on this Hot Ones. This Hot Ones, the hot sauce thing.
I love that show.
I asked him a couple of questions, so I thought, let's see how he answers the questions about.
This should be interesting. I've not seen this.
Yes, I'm excited.
Here we go.
Hi, I'm John Boyega, and
Can you hear it?
You have to put a little louder.
It's low.
Why isn't it popping up?
There's like weird. No option to actually increase volume. Okay.
That may be as loud as it's going to get, so you might have to turn it up on. Seem to be able to. I only seem to be able to mute it.
2 options: tell the truth or suffer the wrath. This is Truth or Dab Rapid Fire. Let's do this. Dayclo Tyrone involves a vast underground conspiracy. Name a real-world conspiracy theory that you believe. UFOs.
I forgot this. Let's not get into the UFOs. Keep going.
Did the Pentagon or the American government confirm that there are factually UFOs? Now, they did say we don't know if there are any biological beings in there.
Yes,
come on.
And it's a lie.
Yeah.
If you believe it,
aliens aren't real.
In from best to worst.
The ones he was in.
Hell yeah, I do it. Star Wars: The Force Awakens is most definitely the best. Second for me comes Star Wars 9, and then the worst, in the most respectful sense, is Episode 8. But they're all lovely.
This guy's the most ungrateful.
He was lying.
The side eye, right? They're all lovely.
Yeah.
No wonder he's not getting any work. Honestly. He's so unprofessional. He's just saying what people want to hear.
That's fine.
Obviously, he's not wrong, but he's a sellout to be saying that stuff and still saying he would come back. Get out of here.
And then, of course, I don't know if you guys remembered or if you saw, everyone then was like, John Boyega hates The Last Jedi. John Boyega said Last Jedi is the worst Star Wars movie, blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, well, he definitely said it was his least favorite that he's been in. You can't dispute that he said that.
I don't care.
I mean, I can understand why he wants to come back. He wants that freaking paycheck. I mean, it's all about he doesn't care if the movie sucks. I mean, he just wants to get paid. That's most actors for you.
He complains about The Last Jedi as much as he wants, but JJ didn't give him justice either. He was a freaking janitor, and then JJ still didn't have the balls to just flat out say he was Force sensitive in The Rise of Skywalker. He only had the balls to keep alluding to it and to hint at it. It was a feeling. No, you didn't get justice in any of the directors you work with, neither with Kathleen Kennedy, nobody. Your co-stars did not speak up for you. So stop acting. That's what gets me mad. Like, he had a chance to try to make Finn a good thing, and he probably could have, but he didn't. So now you want to come back? All right, bro. That's my opinion.
I wouldn't want to come back, but
they're probably telling him, dude, we're finally gonna give Finn the story he deserves. We're also gonna pay you this much, and he's like, "Oh, right, mate, that don't sound too bad, bruv."
Well, and I think as soon as he saw Daisy Ridley was on board, he's like, well, okay. Yeah, if they ask, I'm ready. I want to make sure they know I'm ready. I want to make sure, for all we know, they've already asked, right?
And the thing is, they'll sign their contracts and be on board and do all that before it's ever even written. So it's not like they're gonna write it and then they're gonna look at it and be like, "Holy shit, this is crap," and then just want to. I mean, at that point, they're stuck in it. They got to be in it. I would be like, I'm not signing up for shit till I read that script.
I'd want a prenup with Disney. Like, all right, I'm agreeing to play this character, but I have the chance to opt out after I read the script.
They shrunk him in the China poster.
Yeah, and I'd be like, no shrinking me on the posters in China either moving forward.
And make no mistake, I agree with the ranking, obviously. Yeah. But my point is that he came back, The Rise of Skywalker. Everybody praises Rise of Skywalker, and he still really didn't get anything. As much as I hate The Last Jedi, he did more in The Last Jedi than he did in
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
They do. Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, they love The Rise of Skywalker. Mm-hmm.
Well, again, I think it's a lot of it is comparative, though. I mean, if of the three to compare to, The Force Awakens is the easy first, and then the other two are just what they are.
Yeah, and when Force Awakens first came out and they were promoting it, and you saw him. He was in the Stormtrooper outfit. You thought, hey, this is another Luke and Han in disguise thing. Nobody really knew that he was actually a First Order trooper. And then we see the posters and the shots with him with a lightsaber in his hand, all that sort of stuff. Daisy Ridley with a lightsaber in her hand. So we're like, oh, we're getting multiple Jedi, all this stuff. And then he's just a First Order trooper.
They clickbaited him in the trailers. Like they clickbaited the shit out of it. And honestly, that's probably one of the very few things that JJ did okay in The Force Awakens is we've never seen a stormtrooper defect. They've always
I like the concept.
They've always been NPCs, and it's like, okay, cool. What are we gonna do with this? Nothing.
Yeah, I love that concept of the stormtrooper defecting. When I first saw the movie, I was like, oh wow, this is interesting. Like I'm liking this. You know?
And I do think on John's point, right? Even though things had already been delayed pre-strike, if we get a movie in 2026, if we get a Star Wars movie in 2026, it won't be until December now, and we'd be lucky.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd be shocked if we got a movie in 2026.
I agree.
Same.
And at this point, I still think if they're going to give us a movie, this will even more narrow it down to just give us the Filoni movie.
Yeah,
I think Iger's really going to push for a movie though, because he's seeing, look at all these movies that everybody thought the theaters were dead. Barbenheimer, Super Mario, all these movies are making money.
Barbenheimer, stop saying that.
No, Barbenheimer.
I mean, Barbie beat Indy 5, right? So I mean, it's like, what do you do with that?
Nikki, did you go see Barbie movie?
None of you are gonna like my take. I already know, Nick. Yes, I saw it.
And you didn't like it. I saw it too. We have the same take. We have the same.
It was great.
I did.
Okay. Well, interesting enough. Right before I jumped on here and started this stream up late this afternoon, I saw the amazing Lucas, who we've had on this channel in the past, and he actually said this is the most pro male movie I've seen. And I'm like, what? So I thought it was a joke. Well, I watched it and he explained why. And I haven't seen the movie, but from his point of view and from what I've heard from others about the movie, he makes some good points in it. It's still not anything I'm ever going to watch. I will never watch that movie. I cared nothing about it, but
Ethan Van Sciver made a similar set of points as the amazing Lucas did. I think at least some of them were similar. And to me, I thought they did a really good job picking fun at both sides. Right. And I actually had an emotional reaction at one particular scene in the movie, because there is an undertone in the movie that talks about, how we conceptualize the world as children and how we learn later how very different the real world is from what we conceptualize, and how that impacts us and how we work through that. there were parts of it that I found to be very real.
My wife saw it. She said she loved it. So I know.
Let the woman speak. Are you ready for this? I think both sides are looking into it way too deep. It's not woke and it's not anti-woke. I think it's just a movie that exists to make you laugh with some sincere moments about motherhood and the real world. The fact that people are trying to use this movie to make it into a culture war. I even saw, spoiler alert, John Cena makes a cameo. He talks about how he thinks this movie
ruined it.
He talks about how he thinks this movie was going to do that. It was just going to drive conversation. I think both sides are getting so butthurt about it. To me, you liked it, you didn't like it. I thought I was going to hate it. I was surprised I had fun with it. Was it preachy? Yes. Was it annoying at times? Yes. But listen, Ryan Gosling stole the show. And no more Barbie talk. I know the chat's going to blow their brains out because everybody keeps talking about Barbie. But
I know we have a lot of folks in the chat who will never see the movie and who've already made their minds up about the movie. And
I'm going to keep
fine.
my man card.
That's fine. It's 2023. I can understand that mindset. I'm just saying, as someone who saw the movie, I had a really good time watching it. On Mickey's point, some of the stuff was a bit much. I really loved Ryan Gosling as Ken. I liked the stuff they did with Ken was really, really good. And so again, I'm just glad
anti-motherhood. That was one thing that I kept hearing that really pissed me off. It was pro-motherhood. It made fun of a pregnant Barbie. Who cares? The main character says, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, basically, she said, that's fine. I just think I don't blame people because our anti-woke senses are super strong, especially these last few years, because everything they do give you, you're expecting to be preached to. I get that. But if there's one movie to do that with, it's going to be Barbie. So I don't know.
I just don't want to see it because it's a movie about friggin' Barbies.
Exactly. I don't blame you for that.
Same. All right.
I mean, let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay, back to my original point. Bob Iger is going to push for movies because he's seen the success of all these movies coming out this year, and they need money. He needs a good movie.
And half the stuff they're making is the same cost as a movie. Acolyte set for like $250 all said and done.
Too.
Well, I have a lot of Acolyte stuff if we want to get into that. But Nikki, I don't disagree with you on Iger's desire to have a movie. The problem is all their recent movies are flops. So Iger's desire is to have a successful movie, and I honestly don't think Disney knows how to make a successful movie right now.
I agree. And on top of that, how long is this actors and writers strike going to last? Do you guys see this thing lasting through the end of the year?
Yes.
I mean, I see it lasting.
Seriously?
100%.
I'm in the same boat. I don't see this thing getting resolved this year. I think it'll be early next year before it gets resolved, because the studios, really? I mean, they're sitting there like, we have more money. We have more money. We're not. We're gonna starve them out.
The biggest thing, two things, right? The AI conversation being replaced with it. And the other thing is residuals from streaming services, because the streaming services aren't honest with their streaming numbers. So they make like cents on the dollar for too.
Well, but also I think the majority of the actors that are out there, some huge percentage of the working actors that are out there make $26,000 or less a year, right? Yeah. We think of when we think of actors, we think of Tom Cruise, right? We think of
you're the 1%,
right? Yeah. What's happened? Not even so much on the residuals; it's just the actor's wage. And the residuals and the rest of it enters into the fact that a lot of these actors go job to job to job, and a lot of times they don't even have the next job lined up.
A lot of them have regular jobs too, and they just have to do the acting thing on the side because it just doesn't pay the bills.
Is it like 1% qualify for health insurance or something crazy like that?
Yeah.
It's all.
The thing is, I think this is ultimately a good thing for the industry. One, because right now, movie budgets are super inflated. I mean, they have to drop the budgets of these films. If you guys have watched the trailer for The Creator by Gareth Edwards, it's coming out.
Good.
He did that movie it was like an $80-something million budget, and the movie looks great. It looks like a $300, $300 million film. It looks huge. I think this is going to force the industry to start cost cutting and to bring the cost of making these movies down, because they can't keep putting out these movies that between their budget for the films and their marketing budget, it's costing $500 million, and they got to get $1 billion return to freaking break even. on it, and of course that's not all movies. I'm just talking about the huge blockbuster ones. But even the other ones, that are really expensive to make, that don't do as well. I mean, they're losing money on many projects, and the actors and stuff have to realize that the studios and the people that are investing the money, they're taking all the risk. The actors and stuff are just there to do a job. They're not taking any risk. They're getting paid whether the studio makes money or not. If it's a huge flop, the studio's the one that's putting up all the money and taking all the risk, and they want to be able to make a profit too for their shareholders. So I see both sides of it. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be good for the industry because it's just a complete shit show in Hollywood right now. I feel
like the only time we should be seeing a budget like that, one of those crazy inflated budget, like just a massively expensive movie, is something like the first Avatar, when it's first coming out. Completely experimental. This is nuts. We're paying loads of animators, all kinds of new, creative endeavors. You would see that. But I saw it in the chat. Somebody had said it, Indy 5 had a massive budget. And it looked like poop. Like, where'd the money go? Did you really pay Harrison Ford?
Reshoots. There were so many reshoots, and the crew and stuff involved in that was huge. They de-aged Harrison Ford. They of course had the de-age Harrison Ford where they go back in the past, but they actually de-aged him for the entire film.
But a kid did that on his computer with Star Wars for free. Like,
but when you're in the industry, all the contracts and stuff, and the minimum pay rates, all that sort of stuff that they have to abide by, and rules and limitations and expectations and blah blah, all this and that. It's expensive, and that's one reason why I think Iger, and I'm no fan of Iger, but why he's saying that a lot of what the actors and writers and stuff were saying and demanding was unrealistic. Now, some of the stuff they're talking about, I 100% am on board with, as far as their likenesses being used, residuals, all that sort of stuff. Because if they're just continually banking on this and they were a part of it, but that should be something that's negotiated in their contract when they sign on for a project.
Well, I think the model that he helped create and really push from a streaming perspective is how we got here, right? So for him to not take some responsibility on that, I think is a little bit hypocritical. Yeah. Again, I think that from just a general perspective, we all, people who are in the profession, they feel like they're due a living wage, and they feel like they're due whatever is appropriate from an ongoing perspective if that work product continues to be consumed. And because I think the two sides are so far apart, and I don't know how they come to a consensus, this is why I have no problem believing it's going to go on at least until the end of the year.
Yeah.
All deference and love to unions, man, but if I wasn't making money where I was working, guess where I went? Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, and we have to remember also, it's not just these union workers who are on strike that are affected, right? It's everyone else that's involved in the production that aren't even in these unions, because they're not working either.
They're out of work. Yeah. Sucks,
right.
Man.
Not to mention all the support for them, right? The food, the catering, the transportation, the housing, right? There's no work.
No. Yeah, a lot of people are without work right now. They're having to find other jobs. A lot of people are probably going to end up, having to sell their houses.
The nanny's going to save the day.
Oh,
yeah.
Fran Drescher.
Like, oh gosh, shut up.
And you guys need to pay us more money.
But sadly, we've heard talk about, some of the studios, they're what they're going to do here is they're like, well, they'll come back when they start losing their houses, right? When they've had enough of this, they'll come back, and that's how it'll get resolved.
It's a war of attrition.
It is.
Yep. All right, real quick, guys. Graph Web for $2. # cancel Disney Plus. 100%. Kennedy Stale Muff Crunch. Hey, Nikki, will you read that name for me, please?
Kennedy stale muff crumbs for $20.
You know they exist too.
Yeah. Young Nicholas, like I promised on Twitter, here's a small donation for Dogo Denture Fund. Don't spend this on alcohol, you bum. I am stocked on alcohol. If I would have known this was coming, I would have never even bought the alcohol I bought last weekend. But
it was on sale.
Life happens.
There you go. Community fixing Nick's mistakes. What?
Yeah. Thank you to everybody that sent in a super chat. This super chat video is for you. And they give us Pee Wee Herman bucks. And also, guys, Donna Hergenrether has gifted 5 Echo Base Network memberships. So to anybody that got a membership, remember this Sunday in the afternoon, I'll post the time early Sunday on when I'm going to be starting the stream. But member stream this Sunday with giveaways that we got from John Kakaza from San Diego Comic-Con on the 4D puzzles, TIE fighters. He sent me a whole stack, guys. I have plenty to give away.
I'm gonna be on a plane. Rissman, will you enter for me?
I can. Where are you flying to?
Massachusetts.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, if Rissman wins, I'm gonna do it a couple times, but I'm gonna do it for a couple weeks. There's no way I can give them all away in one stream. I mean, I have a bunch.
Awesome.
I think it's like 20 or something like that. But to all the new members, this video is for you.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. We are now part of the tribe. That's what I always wanted.
And if you guys did not get one of the gifted memberships, you can join yourself. It is the cheapest tier, is less than $2, $1.99. And you guys can take part in the member streams that we're going to do on Sundays, the giveaways, all that sort of stuff. I think I decided that I'm going to keep that to members on Sundays. So I think that's what we're going to do. Rissman, next topic.
Yes,
you got something?
Yeah.
Ready?
Well, do we want to talk some Acolyte?
Oh,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, I always love trashed on the Acolyte.
Oh boy. Let me see here.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, there are two things are related, right?
I thought filming was done. Did he already film it? And this is just being leaked?
Oh, apparently he did. Okay. So there's two things are related. There's a Keanu Reeves part of this, which we'll talk about first. That does indicate he shot some scenes as a cameo type, and that this is related to part of the reason why the budget is so large. So the next story we can talk about is how large the budget is. But what do y'all think? Keanu Reeves, is it real? This does come from Giant Freaking Robot, so take that for what it's worth.
It's coming from Giant Freaking Robot. I'm gonna say that there's about a 20% chance that this is true. Then,
what year is this taking place during?
This is High Republic.
Wait a minute,
1,000 years before the prequels or something.
When you click Trust and Proven Sources, where does that link to? I love doing that in these articles.
I'm just saying, everybody's freaking out going, it's Darth Revan, guys. Finally, Keanu Reeves is going to be here as Darth Revan. He wouldn't be alive.
It's just taking you back to there.
Oh.
But no, this is, well, they're thinking, if it is Darth Revan, right, they're thinking it's a flashback or it's a holocron or it's going to be, I don't think it would be appropriate to the time frame, right? This is like 100
years.
Yeah, it's like 100 years before the Phantom Menace.
Hell, Ron Kittle.
Yes, okay, I take it back, like 3,000 years before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he'd have been dead for 3,000 years.
I guarantee you, if he's in it, he's playing a brand new character, not anyone that people are going to recognize and be like, "Oh, Keanu Reeves is this person," from the U books, or
he's probably going to be a manservant to one of the acolyte women.
Probably.
See, this is the shit that like pisses me off beyond reproach. Everyone's like, "You dude, he'd be a great Revan. He'd be an awesome Revan." And they're like, "The fans wanted it, and here it is." And then it's going to be some horrible, horrible cameo that makes no sense whatsoever.
Kind of like John Krasinski in Multiverse of Madness. Everybody wanted him, right? They bring him, and what do? They completely nuke him in like 5 minutes. So
you're welcome, fans.
Yeah.
You wanted, we listened. Like, fudge you.
As fast as he came in, he went right back out.
Yeah.
So, and I love Keanu Reeves. I like him as an actor, even though he's not like
he's not the greatest actor in the world.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, he's a terrible actor, but we love him.
He's an action star.
He's a great guy, like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Very down to earth. I love Keanu Reeves. And it would kind of piss me off if he is in this shit show of the Acolyte. His first appearance in Star Wars is the fucking Acolyte. Really? Good Lord, come on.
It's like Jar Jar coming back as a game show host, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, for the Acolyte, I was reading some articles with Felicity. The story is probably going to be crap, but they really are drumming up, from the sounds of it, Jedi, lightsabers, all of this stuff. Don't expect blasters,
and bow and arrows. Don't forget, they're going to have bow and arrows.
No blasters, though. They made that clear. I mean, again, whatever. We'll go through that later, but they're really going to drum up the action that we've been wanting, right? But is it going to be like a Game of Thrones season 8 where most of it looked great, but the story was trash? So that's probably what we're going to get with the Acolyte.
That's what I keep saying. They get so close, but they just keep dancing around the target. Keep dancing around it.
Yep, with women.
Yeah, I'm with you all, and I think not only in this case do we question how good the story is going to be, but they certainly seem to be spending the money on this series, right? And I think this has been corroborated. So this is not from Giant Freaking Robot. This has been corroborated in a few places now. And they're saying that they spent almost $50 million on pre-production for this series in comparison. And this came out in a Forbes article. And Forbes also mentioned Keanu Reeves. Now, is Forbes just that lax and they searched around and didn't realize who Giant Freaking Robot is or had their own sources? I don't know. But in this same Forbes article, they do mention Keanu Reeves offhandedly. But as a comparison, they spent more on pre-production for The Acolyte than apparently they spent on Rogue One from a pre-production perspective.
That's mind-blowing to me.
Okay, but can you tell me, just for comparison, what would be like a sensible budget for a streaming show? Do we know? Because
sensible?
Yeah, like pre-production. Obviously, by the sounds of it, $49.2 million for just pre-production is a lot. What would be normal? Would it be half of that or something? I don't even know.
I'd say finished out the door, you're probably at 60 for something. What was Game of Thrones at? Or not Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon.
That is a good question. I used to know that, but let's see. So around 150 million to 200 million, but that's an HBO show. I feel like HBO has that kind of money to spend on it, and because they do a lot of on-set stuff, which the Acolyte is claiming they are doing as well. They're not using as much green screen.
And it's an interesting thing, right? Because we had heard otherwise from the California tax thing that they have to file, that Skeleton Crew had a total budget of 136 million, right? So that obviously includes whatever they had for pre-production. So maybe the Acolyte is set to upset, that, you know what I mean, is going to be even more than that.
It's 50 million in pre.
Yeah. And I know they did a lot of practical stuff. They built sets. It's an overseas production and so on and so forth, right? But this is just a crazy amount of money for a series that I think is just another 8-episode series.
Dan, we don't talk about that show here.
Which show?
Oh,
the Rangs of Pal, 465 for one season.
Yeah, that's why.
That just goes to show you how money can be spent in different ways.
Well, and the article goes on to say, what about spending less as opposed to spending more? Again, these shows are finished, right? Skeleton Crew is finished. The Acolyte, I know there's a lot of discussion about, is it ever coming? Is it finished? Is it not finished? Right, but these shows will come out now, especially because they've had to stop working on every other show. Now, I found another article that said originally people were starting to hear that The Acolyte was supposed to come out in the second quarter of 2024. At this point, I would think maybe they're going to hold it back if that's true and give it to us at the end of 2024. I think they're really going to, they're going to really space things out now and hold Skeleton Crew maybe for 2025. Then they'll come back and finish Andor. You know what I mean? I think we're definitely moving away from our previous experience of having multiple Star Wars series on Disney Plus in the same year.
Well, when you don't make money on them and people don't like them, it makes sense. And they were spending money hand over fist. I think that's what Iger was really talking about in those interviews, is like, I don't really think he was bashing the quality of it. I think he was talking about, the fans' reception of it when he states, we need to take a look at what we're making and then how much we're spending. I think that was the other thing is, we are flinging shows out left and right at record high numbers and people aren't happy with them. So let's dial it back, baby. We gotta reel this bitch in and take a look at what we're really doing here. I don't think we really see a change in excuse me, and what we're seeing in Disney Plus until early 2026, late 2025.
Well, the strike helps this out, right? So now once they come out of the strike, they'll look at what were they about to start, what was in progress, what should we continue with, how should we respace these things out? And on your point, I think that then works into this whole less is more phenomenon.
Yeah.
But if the stories still stink, right? A great example of like one of the most so what series I've seen recently on Disney Plus is Secret Invasion. Great example.
Oh, hell no. Let's not even talk about that show.
Great example of six 30-minute-ish episodes with one of the absolute worst finales of any of the series I've seen to date. Just
Nick Fury. Horrific. They're calling
I heard Fury got cucked, and then I saw a meme floating around today of like what's her name? She was
Amelia.
She's got like the Quagmire arm.
Yeah, the strong hand.
Yeah, after he's like Rick and Morty freaking arm. Yeah.
Well, I'm not personally as upset with the whole Nick Fury was married to a Skrull business as I am how they did end up solving the big bad and just setting up the rest of it, right? The whole series appeared to be just a setup for the Marvels movie. Yeah. But again, to me, that's a series that had no reason to exist, right? And so they have to get out of the content engine, and just content for content's sake, I think, and start thinking about spending and story. And I don't know.
Yeah. First of all, X-Men looks like he was trying to land a plane, like he was guiding an aircraft. And secondly,
my wife and I were doing hand signals.
Oh, okay. You were saying, I'm Ree. I gotcha. But yeah, whatever. I'm glad I didn't waste my time with shows like Secret Invasion, because a lot of these shows exist to kind of like undo the past so they can do whatever they want with the future. Yeah, that is true. Bad Batch 3.
Yeah. So all of these things we thought were going to come out next year, because Bad Batch 3, the voice acting was done. So all they really needed to do was put finishing touches on production and the rest of it. And I say that like it's a minimal thing. Obviously, on an animated product, it takes some finishing. But the voice acting did finish before the strike. So technically, we could get Bad Batch season 3 whenever they do finish it up. But yeah, next year we were anticipating Bad Batch 3, Acolyte, and Skeleton Crew at a minimum.
Skeleton Crew. It's done already, isn't it?
Skeleton Crew is 100% done.
That's coming out before Acolyte?
That's going to be the best show out of any of them. I feel like
originally we did expect Skeleton Crew before Acolyte.
Originally, so does that mean no?
I don't know. We don't know now. if since Skeleton Crew is in the Mandoverse, personally, if I were in charge, and I'm not, I would still release Skeleton Crew first, and I would release it next year.
Skeleton Crew is going to be just, it's not going to be like a horrible show, but it's not going to be an impressive show either. I think it's just going to come and go, to be honest.
And the only reason I say that is because
it's going to pull in Andor.
Well, if it has a play into the Mandoverse movie, right? If there's some kind of set pieces that come into the equation in Skeleton Crew that has to culminate towards that movie, then I think they're obligated to release it sooner as opposed to later. And then it's just a determination of, well, does Mando 4 need to come out before that movie comes out? Then they have a whole Mando 4 problem. Because that's allegedly just written and nothing else has started, as far as we know.
Yeah, that's the word, right? That they did start writing that show.
Apparently, our boy Favno, he said he finished it.
Oh, great.
After 3, I'm like off the train. I just still love looking back on our conversations, Risman. I was like, I've seen the trailers. I know who's doing this. Mando 3 is gonna slap. I'm telling you, this is what we need. And then we watched it, and I'm like, he was right.
I was off it after Book of Boba Fett because it ruined Mando by extension. So
that was like that was the best Mando we got since season 2 was him running around with that blade cutting those.
No, I agree with you.
In half and stuff.
I agree with you, but why I say that is because it undid the Grogu goodbye scene. It undid the Luke scene. I was like, whatever. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a video here. We can listen to these people talk about.
Oh my God, are you serious?
This is our favorite panel. Remember?
Hold on.
Gun control in Star Wars.
Wait a minute. I gotta pee.
I'll be right back.
Okay, before you guys started, two things to know about this video is I watched it with Felicity because we did a video for our channel. Number one, I will say this, they totally clickbait the lack of guns thing. You'll see it in context. Okay. It's not horrible. Number two, there's way worse cringe than the gun thing in this, so get ready for it. That's all I'm going to say. The gun thing is the least of your worries.
we got to wait till X-Wing gets back.
Yeah.
Because I read the text below. I'm sure the text below is just a transcript of the video, but I didn't realize we could actually hear them talking about it. Oh no!
Yeah, I recorded with Felicity, and like the thing is too, like Felicity made a point to me as well that if this show really is just focusing on Sith and Jedi, when would a blaster be appropriate? So I kind of get it from that point of view too. I don't think they're trying to do it from like a political standpoint. It's just I don't see a use for it unless they're coming into contact with bounty hunters and things like that, but it doesn't seem that way.
Real quick, the Gatekeepers Daimo. Sup, Nick, Matt, X-Wing, and Nikki. Hail to the Gatekeepers Daimo. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see. Lou Capadona for $5. Acolyte will be worse than Marvel with Secret Invasion. 2 damaged IPs destroyed by ideology, disrespecting lore, and trash writers who hate the brands. Hard to argue. Hard to argue against that. Yeah, ever since Endgame, the only thing that I've liked that they've given us has been Spider-Man No Way Home. And that wasn't even Disney. That was Sony.
Mm-hmm.
And the animated, the I don't know, have you seen the Across the Spider-Verse, Nick, or if that's your
No, I haven't.
You should.
Really well done.
I liked
really
it.
Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I am excited for Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation though. It comes out this fall.
They're putting it out on PC too, aren't they? Because I really want to play that.
It will come out on PC, but it'll be like a year or so like later.
Man, I just got a new Xbox. I should have gotten a PS5.
Xbox sucks, bro.
Whoa, somebody clip that.
I'm gonna go yell at my wife.
Somebody clip that because I was saying that. Go ahead.
Here we go. All
Man,
right,
Sony's where it's at. If it's not PC, Sony.
They had
these people are my favorite.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of controversial takes, let's hear our friends talk about all the lightsabers and everything we're going to see in the Acolyte.
This is from the same Entertainment Weekly video from like a week or so.
Yeah,
ago,
remember
right?
when we were? Yeah, we did the whole
he's
thing.
got the same eyeliner.
Well, no, I think this was all filmed at the
Trash
same
mustache.
time. And what they did was they've chopped it up. They've chopped it up
Gotcha.
into different pieces. So this won't be a rerun, but what they did, I think, is they filmed all this around Celebration. So with the last time when we said, why aren't they talking about the story or anything else? I think it's because of the way they chopped it up a little bit.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
This guy needs to go to the barber shop in the hood or something.
Here
Get
we-
lined up.
Here we go.
Like a bunch of
Hotel,
spiders.
and me and my
having a
husband would
meeting.
walk
Johnny was
through
like,
them.
"Be gone."
And open-
Hold on now. Shut up.
They had
Sorry.
automatic doors in the hotel, and me and my husband would walk
Johnny was
through
like,
them
"Be gone."
and open them up. Yeah, all the time. Come on.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we are children.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I feel like it's very different. It's very new. It's very modern. It's like you said. It's very diverse. It has a lot of young energy and older energy, which I really love. I've said this a billion times. Manny's gonna laugh at me. It's very camp.
She calling it
What's your
campy,
word?
Nikki?
It's camp. Everybody
It's
get
camp.
triggered.
Oh, here we go.
She stole your word, Nikki.
Oh no, she
How
said
dare
it's
she.
campy. She said it was campy.
It feels really human to me. I've said this a billion times, but it feels like a very human kind of emotional story wrapped up in like this epic thriller. Just
Epic
what drew me into
thriller?
the project was kind of like how human it felt to me, how real it felt.
It's I don't know. It's all the feelings from excitement. I mean, we've talked about this. There's a lot of fear
Yeah.
in it, but if we didn't feel that fear, I don't think it'd be worth it.
True.
So it's a good thing to feel.
Yeah.
And, fear can be invigorating, exciting.
Yeah.
As much as it can be scary, to rise to the fandom, rise to the stories, rise to the generational
Absolutely.
history of
Eyeliner on.
Does anyone understand what they're talking about?
I'm
All I
lost.
hear again is the words coming out again.
I'm still stuck on how it feels real to her. This is a space fantasy, you dumb bitch. It's supposed to feel like fantasy. It's not supposed to feel real.
I don't know.
Star Wars.
Don't
All right,
know.
continue.
I'm not getting.
Remember,
in
this
trouble.
is Star without the wars, right? There are no wars here,
Yeah,
just
no
Star.
wars in the stars.
Just Star in this, just Star.
Star Wars galaxy.
It's daunting for sure.
Yeah, but that can be, it asks more of ourselves as individuals, and that's real fun to come into.
Yeah.
Okay,
I could
somebody
have an
explain
alien.
that to me. Seriously.
His
It's
face
daunting,
creeping out.
but that brings us more as individuals. But what?
They're saying it's a
Diverse
challenge.
individuals, X-Wing.
Sorry, diverse individuals.
They're just saying it's a challenge and they like a challenge and
Acting?
yeah.
In a space
Okay.
fantasy?
So
Allegedly made for kids?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, well, they'll get into that. They'll get into it.
My Felicity said his tight pants are annoying. Tight
Yeah,
pants.
look at that, bro.
Freaking Dwight Yoakam jeans on.
Him and the chick need
Golly,
to switch
man.
pants.
Yeah, for
What is
real.
that? Oh God.
I can say I'm a Jedi. A Jedi
We
Knight.
can both say we're Jedis. We're
Yeah.
Jedis.
I can say I'm a guy.
Finally, we got one of
That's
those.
He's
problematic.
Manny Jacinto, guys. What else do you want to know?
What's a
Mutually,
woman?
Though, all of
Are
our
they gonna ask that
hair
question?
is pretty on fleek.
The guy on the
Yes.
Do you use that word in England? It is,
It is on fleek.
yo.
We got
Hair-
some good
she's
hair.
got like a
I
baby
haven't heard.
Bowie situation going on.
Yeah.
Now they're talking about their hair.
This is
On fleek.
given like major
On
Rings
fleek.
of Power vibes.
When was the last time you heard someone say on fleek?
I don't even know what it means.
2017.
On fleek just means like it was stupid slang for like you look good, it's on point.
Oh,
I think that was 2017 or something
oh,
like that.
well, I
But
don't know what it,
doesn't this
no one
remind
said
you
that
of?
about you.
It
Don't
does.
you remember like the group cast when they were talking about Rings of Power? And they're like, it's so amazing. There's all this fresh blood and it's so diverse. And we feel like there's so much fear and all these different things. Like it is verbatim the same shit we heard for Rings of Power.
Well, and I don't know if he was about to say it or if it was in a different interview, but in one of these interviews, one of the actors or actresses said that they use the Force, but they're neither Jedi nor Sith. Right. So again, there's going to be another component
Great
of
Jedi.
of
I'm
this
neither
story.
Jedi nor Sith. I'm just retarded.
Yeah, I'm not Jedi or Sith, but I get to use the Force. Don't worry about it, right? I'm like, oh no, here we go again.
The Force is for everyone.
Here we go again. All right.
Watch them have
Maybe
like
that's
an
what I'm
injectable midichlorian where you can have midichlorians for like 15 minutes, you know?
Oh,
No.
no. Like the Hulk blood or something.
Mhm.
Oh,
Natural look that actually is like, you know, fierce and ferocious.
Manny's got the wet look going on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Slick.
I got something real cool. You can't really talk about what
That's
it
not
is.
fair. You just gave away our hairstyles, and he's like, "Oh, I'm being all well behaved. I'm not going to say anything about me."
I'm not bad.
Can't even give
Yeah, I
away
think
your
that was
hair
definitely
skills.
a conversation we've had on set. It's really refreshing to walk onto a set as diverse as this one in every sense. It's like
Discount Daisy,
it's such
please stop
from
talking.
around all the world. Like we've all come from different corners of the world, and we've all just like kind of joined in Reading to do this, which is kind of funny.
Did she say refreshing?
She did. It's very refreshing, son.
This isn't the Empire, son. This device is used to heal. I've been through the treatment myself, in fact, and I found the experience quite refreshing.
Please.
That really happened in Star Wars. That really happened.
It sure did.
It's a trap.
Oh,
it's a trap. He said it on the table. It's a trap. Oh, let's keep going.
It's really great to get so many different people from different backgrounds, and to get to like create this thing together, and to get to just play. It's been really fun.
Yeah, it makes it really, really interesting. I mean, just like watching JJ work, and when you guys
JJ
do
in a
get to see
different
each other.
language.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Talking about the other Asian
every
actors.
day on set with JJ, I'm just like, how? Like,
yeah,
he didn't speak English when he started this job, and he's like, learn English, and like, it's just insane the amount of work that man
still
puts in,
taps into the
and still manages to like
easily.
Like the way he gets notes, where you're like, there's no way he understood what they just said to him, and then he does it, and you're like, just like on the verge of tears. You're like,
you know what? You know what they call that? Acting. They call that a job requirement.
she is driving me nuts. She's like, it's crazy. Like he don't speak English or nothing, but like somebody don't say something to him, and he like done it though, and it's like amazing. It's like Christ.
And then he delivers his lines with feeling. I'm like an actor should.
It's almost like people who don't speak English are also people. It's crazy.
And they can also act in other languages.
Wow.
Mind blown. Mind blown.
These people, man.
wow, how did he just get that? Like, not even speaking the language. Like, it's insane.
Tread lightly.
If you
We can
love
say-
that sequence with Qui-Gon,
You're gonna love this.
and Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, I think you're gonna enjoy this show.
So now they're about to say that if you loved Duel of the Fates, this show does Duel of the Fates and then some.
How dare you compare anything to Nick Gillard?
Oh,
ever.
it gets worse.
Oh, wait, just you wait, Henry Higgins. Give it a second. Give it a second.
We'll say too, not to shade. We have a lot more tangible, physical moves than I saw in that fight too. As badass as it is, there's a lot more grounded work that goes into.
No. Where did he go?
What?
No shade, but proceeds to throw shade. I'm sorry, but this is the only Jedi Master.
What?
To me.
Wait. This is what I read. You just gotta wait.
What?
Our stunt training and our stunt performances. We have an awesome stunt team too that are doing so much without cables, without CGI, without a lot of effects, and it makes it.
Acolyte does it better. Acolyte does it better than the prequels. That should have been. If Entertainment Weekly wanted to give us a title, the title they should have given us was "Acolyte does it better than the prequels." But they
Good news. There's gonna be a video on X-Wing coming out soon.
Gotcha.
It makes the fight seem so much more visceral.
Yeah.
Truly. I mean, I know I've been hit in the head a couple of times. I know you've been hit in the head.
One thing I don't doubt is that they've all been hit in the head many times.
Yeah, because they
big time.
Many times in the head, many times.
A couple times, I know.
A bunch of times. Yeah.
So, that will be reflected.
It was also, I think there's like this element of, there's a lack of guns, which I personally, as someone who loves like fighting and stunties and stuff, I love, because it gives you that body to body, that choreo.
Well, how uncivilized, right? There shouldn't be blasters, right? So at least they got.
You got to freeze it on when she crossed her eyes, looking at her hand, so I can put that in a thumbnail, because that was just perfect.
That kind of like dance feeling of like it actually looks like a real fight as opposed to just I point and I shoot, which is kind of like, and easy cop out in a way. We get a lot of that, like body to body. We have a lot of the sabers, and they've like the way Chris Cowan and Mark Genther and Baron Knopp and all of these wonderful, wonderful stunts we have choreographed it is in such a beautiful way. It's like visually stunning. Like we watched some stuff the other day and it was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well, I can't agree more. I mean, like John Wick, the guns, terrible action movies.
Well, no.
Horrible action movies.
Listen, I'm trying to be fair. Felicity brought this to my attention in a show. I said this while you were out X-Wing, in a show about Jedi and Sith. When is a blaster really ever kind of used? So I don't think she's saying
like
it
all the time.
Between a Jedi and a Sith?
But
between a Jedi. Okay, I get
that's what I'm saying. So like, and I don't think she's saying it to be political. This show's super political for sure, but the way she's saying it here, I think she's just trying to emphasize how much they like train for the fight scenes, that they didn't need props for it, that it's all like, you know, I can see that. And I don't think they're going to be like bounty hunters in the show and stuff like that. So where would a blaster be appropriate? I don't know.
She's taken me past the point of reason.
I get you.
There is a part of this allegedly in some of the rumors and discussions about the plot here. There is a part of this that is potentially very blaster focused, right? There is a part of this that talks about what happens in the story that causes, you know, the acolyte to become the acolyte and some other things. So I think probably the context here is what they're saying is when they're together as Jedi and Sith fighting, it's all physical, it's all sabers, there's no funny business, right? But I do think we're going to see blasters in the show. I just don't think we're going to see it in the context of them fighting.
We're not going to see it like every episode.
This person said it's more intense than the Phantom Menace. Like they were breaking metal blades to the point where the prop department's like, you got to stop. You're going too fast. It's too hard. You have to stop. Do you think for 1 second, I believe that these characters, and I'm not talking about the people they're playing in the show, did anything like that? Hell nah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I took that Phantom Menace shit so personally, bro.
No, and it goes to show you, listen, anyone who's a Star Wars fan, even like a normie, most of them have seen behind the scenes footage of how hard Ewan trained for those fight scenes.
Slow down.
So for the fact for this doofus on the left to say no shade, but like total shade, you didn't see how hard they practiced either. And I can promise you they probably practiced harder than you behind the scenes. So whatever.
They should tell them go try to breathe in a pond.
I like that idea.
And then we have a bunch of fights as well where there are no sabers, where it's just like full on, like, yeah, I can't say much, but it's also really fun that it does look really just like gritty and real, and it feels like a fight.
Like if you compare it to like Andor, Andor is very a mature type of vibe and frequency, and I don't know if little kids got a lot of. I mean, I'm sure they did, but like, I think. Maybe I'm just biased, but I think with our show, you can really enjoy it with your whole family.
Yeah.
Okay, now he's throwing shade at Andor.
I love it. This guy's my favorite. He basically just said that, like, listen, Andor was fine, but this is going to be more entertaining for everybody. That's what he said.
Yeah, kids couldn't watch Andor, but kids can watch us beat the shit out of each other.
Well, what is he also saying about every other Star Wars movie? Like, you couldn't take your kids to see Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith?
These people are idiots.
Listen, he's
every single last one
guy
of them
we've had in a while. Okay, in Star Wars,
he does.
Star Wars is for everyone.
He does look like he could be a little stoned, right? And this look here, he does kind of look like
his Adam's apple looks like it's an alien about to pop out.
No, that's just full blown stupid. No pot involved.
Well, I mean, how is he stupid? He's basically saying Andor wasn't entertaining, and he's not wrong. Sorry, Matt.
He's definitely saying it wasn't entertaining for kids, and while I don't disagree with him, if Andor ends up being the inferior show to Acolyte, I'll be very surprised.
I would be the first one to say I was wrong. Honestly, I want it to be good, but with this crap, go ahead.
Really understand everything and really just be entertained. I think that's the biggest thing with our show. There's a high entertainment value.
I truly think too that.
Is it because it's a comedy, or he means like entertainment for a different reason?
Did we go past the comment already, Matt, of the guy on the left saying that they listen to the fans? Did we get there already? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's why he's saying what he's saying now. You'll see.
I want to. I had a thought and it's completely left me. completely forgot what I
I
was
woman's
say.
blamed in the middle of your.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Thanks, Nikki.
I'm sorry.
All right, continue.
This is a response to the fans and what they've been,
what they want,
what they've been calling for throughout all the shows, which have been incredible and layering outside of all the realms that we know. From
I remember what I was going to say.
Years. But I, even as a fan, have been asking for more aliens, more Jedi, more tangible worlds, more built.
Less green screen.
Less green screening, all this kind of stuff. And I think our show was.
I need a minute. What do you want to say, Nick?
I wish somebody would ask him, what's the messaging in this show? What's the message you're trying to push in this show? And I want to hear what they have to say on that. Nobody's asked.
Tell you.
What's this show about?
Oh,
well, I still don't know what it's about. It's about there's some Jedi and it happens a long time ago.
But how does this guy get it so like because he's not wrong, right? Fans have been asking for more Jedi.
Yes, we brought this up earlier.
All the stuff he just listed, we've been asking for, but then look at how they're selling it to us. Look how they're packaging it. Diversity and no war in Star Wars. Is what they're saying. Great.
If he really wanted to bring, it's so backwards, right? If they really wanted to message what makes the show great, they should have let in with lightsabers, kick-ass stunts, lots of enjoyment, good versus evil, core Star Wars principles, and then should have just shut the F up about every other thing they've ever said. You know what I mean? Because I think on this point, we get so lost in how much of it has been just a lot of unnecessary conversation, and then they start hitting on things that sound like they could be cool, and people have already turned it off.
Yep.
I like this. This is what it seems like. It's all about them being high.
Well, they are in the High Republic. So.
Yeah.
True. I mean, just knowing Leslie too, being a playwright, being based around structure, she wanted to build all of that into one production and give it to the fans.
Weinstein structure.
Yeah. And I mean,
I think
that's a lot to live up to. I hope that we can.
Yeah. But the stuff that we watched felt very much like the original trilogy.
Oh no!
On every era.
Boy, they are hitting all the high points in this video.
You did not just say that.
Strike three.
That was for you, Nick. That was for you, Nick. They're touching on every era of.
I can't wait to hear what comes next.
Shitting on the prequels, comparing yourself to the originals. Please, what else do you have?
Yeah. This feels more real.
Oh my
what?
goodness.
What is happening?
Hit play. You'll see.
Here we go.
Which I love. Which is, I don't know. It has like that kind of like.
So you see like little strings on some of the ships, basically, because we ran out of money.
We did run out of money.
Yeah, we ran out. We're out.
Whoop, they ran out of money. I wonder why.
Yeah.
$50 million in pre-production wasn't enough. They had to use models with strings. That's why it was the original trilogy.
Good Lord.
This is imploding faster than the friggin' whatever that sub was at the Titanic. This is going, dude.
It's not just hot girls that shouldn't speak. It's hot dudes too. Like, shh, be quiet. Just stop talking. Whatever your name is.
Oh, I went to Ireland this past weekend, and they had automatic doors in the hotel, and me and my husband would walk through them and open them up.
We don't want to hear about your husband.
Come on.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we are children.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Sue me.
You can use the Force at any point.
What was the sue me?
They're still awkward.
Like she's putting her hands together, like cuff me, take me to jail for saying this. Boom, canceled. 100%.
How do you?
And yes, they were clearly joking about the money thing. It's just cringe, the stuff that they're saying.
I think they really probably we ran out of money. Ooh.
Maybe they ran out of money for marketing.
That's part about the Force. Anyone can tap in.
Oh, anyone can tap into a little zinger there at the end. Anyone can tap into the Force.
Anyone can, Broom Boy.
Is that the same guy that said no good and evil exists in Star Wars? That's all you need to know.
He's full of Star Wars wisdom, isn't he?
Like the one thing that defines the Star Wars universe. Like, no, it doesn't exist.
You know what would be awesome? I would love to see George Lucas react to these people talking about all this.
What happened to the guy? Like, do you remember during the sequel trilogy, there was the guy who did the perfect deep fake of George Lucas, and he's like, "Oh, there's another check for daddy." Every time Lucasfilm came up, where is he now? Please bring him back. I will crowdfund that.
Gosh, I hate we didn't save that one for Saturday now, Nick, but that's okay. It was still fun.
I'll bring it up again so Coach can react to it.
It was still fun. So,
that's like the most exciting Star Wars we've gotten. I mean, that was just, I felt emotion.
What's sad is that I don't doubt that they're gonna deliver good fight scenes. Because they have really crazy like stunt coordinators on there. They have that other Asian actor who's does martial arts. I don't doubt that it's gonna look cool, but it's gonna be the worst story ever. All the women are gonna be victims and take over everything. It's gonna suck. You thought Barbie was woke? All you crybabies? Wait till you see Acolyte, where it's going somewhere it doesn't belong.
So here's the thing, though. I feel like Star Wars has been moving hardcore into like much more of like the Far East kind of martial art aspect. Much more of like, you know, your Wing Chun, like a lot of that kind of style of fighting, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style lightsaber fighting, which was never what it was supposed to be. When Nick Gillard created it, it was very much a HEMA, you know, historical medieval style of fighting. I know that he put in stuff like kendo and things like that, but it just does feel weird when you see people like doing fucking John Wick style hand fighting. It just doesn't feel right. And so I've seen that clip from somewhere in the Acolyte where I think they were punching Trinity and she like puts the X up and slides back 10 feet. Like, it's gonna look fucking weird. It doesn't look like Star Wars. Excuse my French. I'm sorry. I said the F word, but
I've said it like twice already tonight.
Does anybody agree on that? Like, there was a very particular style of fighting, and hand-to-hand combat was really not a thing in Star Wars.
Yeah, it wasn't. And the one time that we got it from Donnie Yen's character in Rogue One, I liked it in that context, in that moment. You know, that was cool to see that in Star Wars. I like that a lot.
You have like a sort of kind of Forcey maybe dude.
Yeah. But you never saw it at the height of the Jedi. Obi-Wan wasn't in there doing Bruce Lee on people or anything like that.
Because when you're inspired by something, you're not copying it. You're taking from it. Like you're taking inspiration from it. You're not just saying, okay, kind of like what Filoni did in season 2 of Mando between Ahsoka and I always forget her name, Morgan Elsbeth. That fight that was literally like a Western, like copied. He couldn't even adapt it in his own way. That's what they're doing with the Acolyte.
And I'm going to get in trouble here. I'm going to try to stay out of trouble. I did get yelled at for talking to the chat, so I'm not going to say anybody's name in general. I'm just saying, like I said, Nick Gillard used portions of like kendo and different things like that, but it was 100% broadsword fighting. That's what lightsaber combat was. Like I said, there were all kinds of twirls and flourishes that you would never see. You would never see in broadsword fighting. You had to bring in some aspects of that to make it, you know, fun and flourishy.
And the thing is, George used a lot of. He took concepts and bits and pieces. He cherry picked from the real world, from World War II. The samurai, the westerns. I mean, he cherry picked stuff from all over the place, you know, for Star Wars, which is fine, but at least keep it consistent, you know. I sent Matt in private chat a nice little tie-in article that dropped today. The second the second part of this, and it's a short article, but the second part of it, the title of it, like at the top above the picture. Oh man. Trigger moment.
That whole scene of I think, wasn't it right before the asteroid belt when they're Luke and Han are in the turrets? That was shot for shot for a World War II dogfight.
Yeah.
Yep. Shot for shot.
Yep. I when we were watching even in the documentary, that we have on our Patreon page. If you guys aren't subbed to Patreon, go over there, check it out. On the Disney Plus documentary on Industrial Light and Magic, they talked about how they edited in World War II film footage from old movies of World War II battles in the place of the dogfight scenes, when they're editing the movie together. They knew that stuff was going to go in at that spot, but they just used that old film.
Sequel trilogy lightsaber battles were hot trash.
Yeah. Yep. It was like they were. It was like Triumph the Insult comic dog, where he says, "Now they are all getting together for the ceremonial banging of the plastic toys." That's literally what the sequel trilogy was like. Like they're just banging plastic toys, playing pretend.
All right, get out of here.
All right, so this is talking about the new Star Wars TV show, which is in direct response to the ongoing Disney era complaints. Because of all the complaints, Disney listened to all the people, and they're giving you what you want. The Acolyte. All right, go on, Matt.
Yeah, so this talks about, some of this comes from exactly what we were just looking at, actually. And this is what that one fellow was talking about. So again, this talks about set to release in 2024, which again, that's the original plan. There is some scuttlebutt that it was supposed to originally be second quarter of, did I freeze? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
It's your camera that froze, but not your
But
audio.
your camera did freeze.
I'm going to keep talking. You can look at me frozen.
If you stop
such
your camera,
a good face too. It's such a good frozen face.
You're like,
I think it's all. I think Nick, can you take over and try and share this, because it looks like I'm gonna pop out and pop back in.
All right. Let's see here. Present, share screen, entire screen. But here we go. Let me. Oh shit! Oh, never mind.
Oh my
Y'all
God.
good?
That was so passionate.
Yeah. All right. So this is just talking about the Acolyte coming out in 2024. It'll be taking place near the end of the High Republic era, approximately 100 years before Phantom Menace and the rest of Skywalker saga. As a result, the show's stars have been offering some very exciting teases for the Star Wars series, hinting at a major return to form for the galaxy far, far away. Major return to form. All right. And then they talk about featured on the Entertainment Weekly podcast that we just watched. Let's see, who is it? Charlie Barnett have been asking for Star Wars shows. This is a response to the fans, what they've been calling for from all the shows. I, even as a fan, have been asking for more aliens, more Jedi, more tangible worlds, more built. Leslie wanted to build all that into one production and give it to the fandom. It's a lot to live up to, which we watch that. But right here, the Acolyte is by fans, is a gift to fans.
You hear my words, but you are blind.
Oh, good God.
Who wrote this crap?
This is effing freaking Screen Rant.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. One of Disney's most successful shows to date has been Andor, of course. Let's see. Ultimately, these fulminated teases combined with the previous updates for the Acolyte are all very good signs for the upcoming Star Wars show. Definitely seems as though Hedlund is a big fan of the galaxy far, far away herself. She notably dressed up as Princess Leia at Star Wars Celebration 2023. She's such a big fan, guys, that she said when she was starting this project that she wanted to get people that knew nothing about Star Wars. And that's how big of a fan she was of Star Wars, that she wanted to get people that knew nothing about Star Wars.
It's probably because it's so queer coded.
Yeah.
Oh, not again.
Shoot me.
Yeah, as a result, it certainly sounds like The Acolyte is a show that's been made by true Star Wars fans. offering plenty of what said fans have been wanting for quite some time in recent years. The Dagobah Dispatch.
That's that Entertainment Weekly. That's their podcast. So that comes from the article we were.
It has like a 3.6 rating or something. That podcast.
Have you ever tried to listen to the actual podcast? It is the most boring podcast. I was like, I'm falling.
It's physically painful.
I'll stick to Rebel Force Radio. Thanks.
Yeah.
Rebel Force Radio. They're at Icon when we go there for our meetup in Nashville.
I
every
love
year.
Jason and Jimmy. I've been listening to them for years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure
They should Photoshop that picture and put Leslie's face on the left. That'd be more accurate.
I agree. But this thing is going to be a complete shit show.
I hope it's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I want nothing more in this world to be completely wrong.
I would love to watch this.
I'd love to be wrong too.
And be like, wow, guys, this is actually pretty good.
We had all this misguided hate and but holy cow, this show is incredible. I have no problem saying it. I'll make a whole video being like, you know what? I will eat a piece of horse poop because I completely missed the mark on this. It's not going to happen.
No way it's going to. With all the rhetoric coming from everybody involved, I give it a zero. I give it a negative 100% chance of being any good.
And I hope there isn't any more of this chopped up interview to come, because we know they can't be making any more interviews at the moment because no actors or actresses or non-binary. None of them are doing anything at the moment.
They can't even do that.
Nope.
Wow.
No late night talk show, which all the writers for late night talk show, of course, there's no talk shows, there's no nothing. I don't know, but somehow The View keeps going. It's still running.
Talking about communists.
I don't know how that works, but apparently they still have their show running.
Because they're not real actors, they're just trash.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I bet you their writers are non-union, right? So
their writers are AI already at this point. With the garbage they say, it's like, all right, ChatGPT, how awful can I sound today? And they just freaking give them the script.
Well, I think Whoopi walked off recently, and that's probably because she has no interest in acting ever again, right?
Good. That's what that earthquake was.
Yeah. Picard season 2. Picard season 2 was her last role.
What? She was in Picard?
Season 2. Yeah, she came back.
Jesus Christ.
For a second. Yeah. And so I'm, I just, and I know we just talked about this a second ago and it's repetitive, but it's not like they don't have some Star Wars appropriate comments to make. Right. It's just that they've made so many other comments that are memorable for all the wrong reasons. That
we did actual fight choreography in our show, not like the Phantom Menace.
That commentary,
shade, but like all the shade
gets lost. And then when they make an analogy back to the original trilogy, they imply it was cheap. they implied that it was. I'm like, but that was groundbreaking. It doesn't. The two things don't even go together at all. I'm like, really?
And the thing about it too is that they keep wanting to be preachy about how diverse it is. You don't need to tell us, because every time you freaking do an interview with the cast, it looks like that Michael Jackson video from Heal the World. Like, we can see that it's diverse. You don't have to keep telling us what we're seeing in front of our freaking faces. Talk about the damn show.
Was it Mashimoto in The Last Samurai? He said, "You cannot feed a glass which is already full."
Wow.
Come on. Nobody remembers that? Oh my god.
I like the impression. I don't
That might have not been The Last Samurai. I can't remember it, but the guy goes, "My glass is empty." I don't remember what it was.
Hey, Mexican Iron Man, I see you.
Oh yeah. Showed up to razz me as usual.
Yeah, Matt's like, oh yeah, he is here.
That might have been Kung Fu Panda.
Wow.
Kung Fu, it sounds like it could have been Kung Fu Panda.
Lou Capadona, guys, this is so diverse. Can you feel the diverseness in the diversity? It's so real and diverse. Who gives a flying F? Give us good Star Wars. 100% agree. 100% agree.
Very close-minded. Diversity is the most important thing.
Our boy Mexican Iron Man for $5. It is clear to me that before this interview, that Moff Rissman, aka Darth Simpus, clearly coached all the actors, much like Palpatine to young Anakin.
Well, one thing is for sure, we are following the show with much interest, right? But again, I don't know if it's for the right. It's definitely not for the right reasons.
Oh man, woo!
Patting little square head on the back.
So that Funko Pop.
Yeah, Funko Pop.
Leslie Funko Pop happened. Bro, she is like a life model, like live action Funko.
Yeah, Minecraft.
Good Lord. Isn't there a Minecraft movie coming out?
I think so. Well, I don't mean there's not really anything much coming out.
Except Mattel is doing a whole Mattel cinematic universe now.
Oh,
Uno, they're making an Uno movie.
Yes,
yes.
No, get this. I never really played with Barbie or Bratz, but they're making a Bratz movie. Guess who's directing it?
Who?
Lena Dunham. They learned all the wrong lessons from Barbie.
I thought she was doing the little pocket or a lot.
Oh yeah, Polly Pocket. See,
Polly Pocket. Yeah,
I don't know any of this garbage, but that's my point. Like, we're getting we're getting a Barney movie that's going to be a horror movie.
And I had already heard about the Hot Wheels one, right?
Ronnie's not going to shut up.
I know. That's what I mentioned the other day. I'm like, he's not going to stop.
Yeah, the Barney one was announced, and I think there was a Hot Wheels one that was previously announced also. Uno and some of the rest of it.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
We already got Real Steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Real Steel. Yeah.
I actually liked that movie. I liked Real Steel.
I just want
it was good.
A Ken movie. That's what I want.
From Barbie?
Hell yeah, Ryan Gosling, bro, he was incredible in that movie. He was amazing. He was the best part about it. He was better than Barbie.
The best part of the feminist movie was the man.
Absolutely.
It's not. That's what I mean.
What does that tell you?
The movie had some really funny parts, and Ken was, to me, a large amount of.
I think what made it good too is that he was having so much fun with it. Even on the press tours, you see him talk. The interviewers are like, "How can I get some Kenergy?" He's like, "You've had it all along." You just have to tap into it. He's great.
He totally turned a corner for me. He was in a movie, I think it was called The Gray Man or something on Netflix, where he was like, yeah, I really liked him in that.
I like The Gray Man.
This guy turned a corner.
Mm-hmm. He's a good actor. He has a diverse set of acting skills, right? Like an actor should, and he even does it in English. Bonus. But
well, that's the most important part, right?
I mean, obviously,
this is America.
But yeah,
I can't wait to make fun of that.
Toddzilla for $5. Doomcock's video today said KK is locked out of Lucasfilm and her minions are getting the option to resign or fall into line by ratting out higher ups. Lucasfilm is a part. This is what I don't understand. I watched the video. This is what I don't understand. Lucasfilm is a subsidiary of Disney, which is the parent company. How would they need to rat out people? I mean, Disney should know everything that's going on, all the financials, where all the money's gone.
The fact that you had that question after watching the video, I think answers your question, to be honest.
I think the situation there is 90 times more complicated and way less complicated than we think it is.
Yeah, because I worked for a subsidiary company to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they were the parent company. I mean, they knew everything that was going on, everything. Basically, the company was like a legalized money laundering company, just to be honest. But
cool.
You know, it is what it is. It was legal. They just knew the loopholes and that sort of thing. But I don't understand how Disney wouldn't already know this stuff. Why they would need anybody to rat anybody out, unless it was like something like somebody said something. You know, but the proof's in the pudding of what's been done.
I tell you honestly, the most believable KK is leaving rumor is the one I've believed the longest, which is they're just not going to renew her contract. When her contract is over, she's just done.
Yeah.
No, they'll sally her out on rose petals.
You guys are all misinterpreting this. When Doomcock said that, I'm sure he meant they literally changed the keys to the front door. And they're not going to give her a new set.
She's knocking, looking inside her. He's like, fuck you, man. You're not getting in here. Where's your escort, bitch?
Yeah, which could be happening. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not an employee there.
Nick.
I don't know, what's going on. I find it hard to believe that she's locked out, I mean,
it's not
most
gonna
of the
happen.
time
She's not rolling up to the guard gate, hitting her clicker, and she's like, "My clicker doesn't work." And I'm sorry.
Bob Iger doesn't need any more bad press right now.
It's time for you to leave.
Your time has come.
The thing is that there will be a moment in time, guys, on all the KK stuff, and everybody knows we are fans of Doomcock. He's a friend of the channel. He has helped out this channel so much in the past, and at some point in time, we will know the truth. There will be a book written. There will be people that after they're long gone, Disney's under new management, all that sort of stuff, we will know everything that happened. The Civil War stuff, I do know to be true because I know somebody personally that knows the people that were on set during that whole time and how there was constant fighting between KK's camp and Favreau's camp.
So what came of that then, if it was true? What ended up
Mandalorian season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah,
but that was way after.
Basically Favreau's
it was in
camp
production.
That was, and the people that were on his side basically lost. And KK got to, have her input in some of that stuff. So
there's one real world example of why I think stuff like this can totally happen, and it has happened before. Is a really good example of this is Lord of the Rings. When Peter Jackson was in New Zealand and there wasn't a whole lot of oversight, and he was able to make the stuff he wanted to make, and then what happened with The Hobbit and bringing him back in at the umpteenth hour because they're like, oh my God, the studio was not right. Please try to fix this. And he's getting out of a hospital bed to try to come back and fix what was going on.
Yeah. But yeah, even if, which me and Coach have both said this for quite some time now, I don't give two shits if KK's there or not there. Her being gone's not going to change anything. Star Wars is still going to be terrible. But Andre from Midnight's Edge did make a good point over on Mr. H's stream today when we were talking about this. It is a step in the right direction. She shouldn't be there. She shouldn't have been there for a long time. She should have been fired after The Last Jedi. Definitely after the sequel trilogy. Her contract should have never been renewed. But the thing is, you can pull the dead leaves off of a dying tree. That's not going to heal the tree.
You can't just get rid of Fidel Castro. You got to get rid of Raul. You got to get rid of all of them.
Yeah, and KK is just a dead leaf on a dying tree. So, will I be happy when she's gone? Yeah, but that really doesn't change a whole lot. That's just one small step in a series of many, many steps that has to happen for Star Wars to come back to where it was, under George Lucas.
Bob Iger, if you're listening, change the locks back right now.
Especially if she just leaves when her contract expires, that just means she's just left. It doesn't mean anyone else associated with any of the people she brought in. And they're what are they going to do? Are they going to fire everyone she ever hired? I mean, how do you think that you fix the Kathleen Kennedy regime problem?
They'll have a meeting before she walks out the door. Carry on my legacy after I'm gone.
Yeah,
come on.
She's gonna tell all of them to execute Order 66.
You're fighting a good fight.
As soon as she's gone, keep it going, guys. Keep the dream alive.
Has anybody seen the Apple TV series C?
That's not one. That's one of the ones I haven't watched. That's the Jason Momoa one. I haven't watched that one.
Yeah, it's actually, I really like it. And there's an insane queen in that show that it doesn't matter what you do, you just can't get rid of her. And somehow she keeps coming back. And regardless of what you do, even when you oust her and she's living in the woods by herself, you can't get rid of her. Somehow what she does is still influencing everything. I just feel like that's KK. And that ideological fight is not going to go away at Lucasfilm.
No.
And it's a
Disney problem. It's beyond Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
It's
I was going to say it's bolstered heavily by a parent company. So like if anybody really thinks the second Kathleen walks out the door, we're going to get the next Return of the Jedi, like not going to happen.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree.
They need to stop with the shows and put out a good movie if they're even capable of doing that. Like I think after Skeleton Crew and Acolyte come out and Bad Batch, whatever, stop and just focus on a movie. Bring people out, make people think about Star Wars again.
Bring the crawl back.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bad movie. It's gonna be a bad movie, and then we're waiting, potentially 3 to 5 years just to be disappointed the same way we are on a freaking Disney Plus show. It's a no-win. I'm sorry, it's a no-win. I hate to be all doom and gloom, but this sucks.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Debbie Young for $4.99. Tron's message tells his story about his upcoming treatment. Do check it out and say hi. So I'm guessing that is on his page. So mods, if you could post.
I did. I just put it. I'll put it again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not in Nightbot, but I shall place it again.
Yep. Go over sub to Tron. Check out his update over there. Glad he's been in the streams here, so I'm glad to see that he is at least getting back online and feeling well enough to do all that.
Absolutely.
Special Ray for $4.99. Nick, do you like vinegar? No. Does anybody like vinegar? I mean, vinegar's in a lot of stuff. But I mean, it's not like I just go in the kitchen in the pantry and be like, "Oh, God,
vinegar,
bottle of vinegar. I'm so thirsty."
I mean, I like it as like oil and vinegar or Italian dressing, but I don't like malt vinegar with fish and chips, which I know a lot of people enjoy that.
I am sure Ray is trying to imply something. I just
balsamic. Don't know. I know. I was looking at it like
balsamic. I like.
Those jokes they make like.
I do like
nuts
vinegar
and all
red.
those. I thought.
I'm thinking he's making fun of him for being white, but Special Ray is just as white, so I don't know what.
He's laughing in chat, so either he meant nothing by it or we're just not getting it.
Mexican Iron Man for $5. I know how to get rid of KK. Rissman has to say to KK, either you quit Star Wars or you have to quit Rissman's good loving.
Oh, she'd resign. She would resign immediately.
Yeah,
she doesn't want stale crumbs anymore. She wants some fresh ones.
Thank you to all of you that sent in those kind super chats. This super chat video is just for you.
So I have one Peter Jackson thing. I think I heard X-Wing mention Peter Jackson. I have one Peter Jackson thing that's Star Wars related.
Okay.
Which I thought was an interesting. It's not what you think, which I thought was interesting. So we'll make this our last one. I'll put this up. Also, it has to do with Rogue One, so I can't resist. So this is Gareth. Apparently, Gareth Edwards is a huge Peter Jackson fan. And while they were making The Hobbit, he was invited. He was invited to go and see Peter Jackson filming The Hobbit, and went on set, and he was just totally enthralled. And he was like, the article talks about, how could I get Peter Jackson? How could I pay him back? And he said, well, I'm doing Star Wars. Maybe I'll invite Peter Jackson to come on set. And related is, the real crux of this article is, talking about them including Darth Vader in Rogue One. And, Gareth Edwards saying, hey, it was something we always wanted to do. It made sense. He said, I personally, and us generally, he really is referring to himself. He said, I personally didn't realize how big a hit it was going to be, but we were about to do that. And I've been trying to get a hold of Peter Jackson. He's ghosting me, basically. He's not calling me back, trying to get him on set. So he said, it's the last day, or getting to be. He said, I call up Peter Jackson one last time and leave a message. And I'm like, hey, I'm about to shoot Darth Vader here at the end of Rogue One. You want to come on set and check it out? And then within 30 minutes, Peter Jackson was on set.
My man.
The whole time, the whole movie being filmed, he's like, yeah, I don't think so. As soon as he called and said, I'm about to film Darth Vader, he was like,
I'll be there.
He said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. And so Gareth goes on to say, he's like, Peter Jackson was there. We did the whole Darth Vader thing. He said, and I got home. And he said the whole thing. All I was thinking was Peter Jackson came to set. I got nothing about Darth Vader. He's like, I got Peter Jackson, to come and all of that, and all of that sort of stuff. So I just thought that was a cute and silly little story about Peter Jackson, Star Wars, but Gareth Edwards specifically, and him trying to get him. And it was Darth Vader that did it, right? Darth Vader bringing him on set.
Do you think Peter Jackson could make an epic Star Wars trilogy?
100%.
Oh yeah, without question.
They wouldn't give him the free reign he needs.
That's what I was just gonna say. If the studio didn't interfere, yes, we would have an epic Star Wars trilogy, but that will never happen.
God, that sucks.
That's kind of the thing that I always find funny is people are always like, let's get this, this person here. Let's bring in this writer. Let's get this actor. Let's get this director. It doesn't matter who you bring in. It will be twisted to Disney's vision. It doesn't matter what you do. So
you even saw I always bring up Multiverse of Madness because Sam Raimi barely misses, but you can tell when there's been studio interference. They even had reshoots for like 2 weeks right before it came out. I don't doubt that they tampered with his vision too.
Yeah.
Oh, they did. He was pissed about that third Spider-Man movie because he kept getting pushed to do things that he didn't want to do in the movie.
And you'd think they let him cook because he has a track record with Spider-Man.
You would think.
Rumor has it he's going to be coming back with Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man 4.
I hope, but I doubt it.
Apparently,
I would be there opening weekend.
Tobey looked a little tired, man,
but that's the thing. They did it respectfully, right? They're not. He played a good mentor type figure.
Yeah,
they respected his character.
I would much rather Andrew Garfield come back.
He deserves another chance.
Yeah. I would be on board for another Andrew Garfield Spider-Man as well. 100%.
Yeah, his suit is.
I mean, he's had such a renaissance year, and he's not. I wouldn't even say he's not even old, right? But in all these,
he made me cry in the freaking No Way Home.
I missed the Garfield train. I think I just missed it completely because, like, after Toby left, I was like, meh, and then I came back in after Holland.
That's where I'm at too. But I do know that like people loved Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. They just hated the movies that he was in.
Dude,
like
some people worship his ground as Spider-Man. They're like, no, that is the Spider-Man. People like
he embodies him perfectly, I think. So
I don't know. I'm a Toby Spider guy.
Same, but Andrew could probably do a great job if he got a proper like script and all that stuff. I just think his movies are very corny.
Yeah,
totally agree.
I think that's
all right, Nick. I'm going to save the rest of the articles for Saturday. We're done. No more articles today.
Oh, come on. We got 2 minutes left. We can hit one more. I'm sweating out here. Come on. Look at what I've done for this podcast.
Oh, good God. Freaking
It's nasty.
I have one swamp cooler in the front of my house, and my back office has this freaking supercomputer running, and the door's closed. Like, it's 105 in here.
Bro, it must smell musty in there.
Musty.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a candle going, which is not helping with the heat situation. But...
You need more than one candle.
It's like spraying Lysol after a giant turd in a public bathroom. It's like it smells good, but it smells like crap at the same time.
The poor attendant is like, I'm not even trying on this.
Yeah, they just coexist. One doesn't cover the other. It's just how it is.
Oh man. All right. Well, we are gonna wrap it up, guys. Real quick, I want to thank everybody in chat that helped out with the GoFundMe for Missy's surgery, my dog. So if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I made this for all the people that supported the GoFundMe. I'm gonna play it again real quick. So this is for everybody that helped support the GoFundMe. All right. Free right now for anybody in chat or anybody on this panel. First person that can tell me the artist and the name of the song of that acoustic song that was playing gets a free TIE Fighter.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Puzzle. No.
Oh, damn.
Can you play it again really quick? Because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to play it again. Let you guys listen to it again. See if you can guess the artist. You have to guess the artist and the name of the song.
God, it's super familiar. It sounds super familiar too.
Yeah, it's the da na 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 na.
They don't play that in Miami.
It's right there, and it's gonna kill me because the second you say it, I'll be screaming the lyrics.
I'll give you guys a hint. It's an 80s song.
Wow, really thinned it down there. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, she.
Because I saw a lot of people saying like a lot of stuff from like the 90s and the 70s.
No, he wouldn't be playing that.
I'm gonna play it one more time. One more time.
It's not gonna do it.
I haven't seen anybody get it yet.
Wow. We're in the deep south now.
I know probably everybody in chat and everybody here on this panel has heard the song.
100%. I know it.
Not me. I grew up in Miami. I'm as far away from country music as you can get.
It's not country.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
he does.
I hate country music.
Yeah.
It sounds country as hell. Ghost to Show?
No, it's an acoustic rock transformation, and I know the melody, but I can't. Is there a lyric or two you can give me, and then I'll come up with it.
If I know it, I'm gonna be.
I'll play a little bit of the original.
We can't hear anything.
I can't hear it.
You can't. Well, it hasn't. You can't hear any of that.
Just go to the middle of the song. Probably on a CD.
Someone just told me what it is, and I have no idea who that is. So good luck.
All right, God, Christmas Criminy, just give it to us.
That freaking sounds like we just intercepted a signal from Mars.
Yeah, I'm hearing like, yeah. And somebody's doing the wine glass twirl.
The dreams made real. All of the buildings, all of the cars.
Sounds like Sting. Is it Sting?
I was gonna say Sting, Phil Collins feel to it for sure.
It sounds like Sting.
Pictures the broken bars, pictures the
Could be Peter Gabriel. Sometimes Club says Peter Gabriel.
no
No wonder he offered a TIE fighter.
What's the chorus?
What the? Well, no.
Yeah, maybe I don't know this song.
Could be the Police. Mars Mead Max says Sting the Wheat Field.
No.
No, it's Peter Gabriel, Mercy Street.
Peter Gabriel. We had a Peter Gabriel. It was Sundowner. Sundowners got it. Mercy Street.
Yeah. I saw Sundowners get it.
Yeah.
Well, you could finally give some to Sundowners for once.
Finally.
Yeah, he's always giving away everything else. Yeah, he hit Peter Gabriel, then he got Mercy Street.
Yeah, but the acoustic version that I used in that video was from a live show with Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds, and Tim Reynolds played that song, played the whole song acoustic, just the instrumental, and that's what I knew I wouldn't get hit for copyright on it. So
not with that audio quality.
Hi, John.
Oh, from the video I made, or what I just played?
No, what you just played.
Oh, well, yeah, it's because I was playing it through my phone.
Yeah,
on the microphone.
Yeah, I saw this. Dan's bringing this up. I saw this earlier today. Randy Meisner, co-founding member of the Eagles, passed.
Oh,
no. Wow.
COVID is no joke.
Yeah.
And Sundowner says, "Give it to someone else. My wife doesn't want any more crap in my house." So ask another question.
Nobody else. I had to pretty much play the actual song, and it was 4 if you guys could get it from the acoustic version, and nobody got it. But this Sunday, guys, I will be doing giveaways from Comic-Con 40 TIE Fighter puzzles that John Kakaza showed us from San Diego Comic-Con. And I have a bunch to give away, so if you don't make it this Sunday...
Sinead O'Connor died yesterday?
Yes,
she died too.
Yeah.
I know. Only 52, right? Or 51.
56. I think 56, yeah.
Still young.
Dang, son. Wow.
Legend.
Yeah.
Well, I'm depressed.
Welcome to my life.
But anyways, guys... I think that's going to wrap it up. Unless you guys had anything else. You guys got anything you want to bring up? Anything you guys got going on? Any closing thoughts, words, comments?
Go subscribe to the Salty Inferno.
Yeah, we've been
yeah.
Some links.
Get over there and subscribe.
Yeah.
If
Salty
anybody
Inferno's
feels like
the...
subscribing to X-Wing, I'm only 40 subs away from 13.5K, which is a nice little milestone. So we're stoked for that. And I promise
you don't even make videos. Well, me and Coach are taking a note out of your book of how to be a YouTuber.
Yeah,
listen,
don't make videos anymore.
I don't know, X-Wing. It's pretty amazing, though. Maybe it's just the word of mouth or the live streams, but you've kept trucking even without the videos. It keeps going up and up.
I haven't done a damn thing, and it just
yeah.
So I think it's the mustache, maybe, or it's the sweat stains.
Oh, not again.
Mr. H had the same mustache going on.
It's like smell-o-vision every time you lift your arms.
Yep.
Yeah. But then he shaved it off.
This is nothing but pheromones and manliness right now. That's why it keeps going up. You can just get the pheromones through the microphone.
Anyways, we have a video coming out later tonight covering that video. So thank you guys.
Oh, good.
Appreciate it.
Sweet.
Sick of hearing
how you guys doing over there, Nikki?
We're good. We're at like 676 or something like that. For some reason, the video that took off the most was the Snow White and the Diversity Squad. That one has like 2,000 views. We're like, what the hell?
Wow.
You never know with YouTube. It's really weird. I'm just having fun talking shit with her. That's all that matters.
It was a good video, but I have to say honestly, I had no desire to see a remade Snow White of any kind, diversity or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like,
Same.
why? Just why?
Yeah, not interested. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Hail to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the panel.
Thanks.
And we will see you guys this Saturday night. As Coach always says, we are UR Echo Base Network. Peace.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.
No, it's the way.
Well,